Well, everybody, welcome to the lounge. Stefanos, wake up. You're live.
Oh, I didn't know we were live. All right, excellent.
So, anyways, we got people commenting not to put on the timers. Well, we do a 4.5 minute timer because that's just enough to go out and pour yourself a beer, make yourself a glass of wine, a scotch. Hopefully, you're at home and you're in for the night. And I want people to be ready for these shows because whenever we bring you guys something, it's usually riveting. It's information. A lot of people are going, shit, I never knew that. Good thing I tuned in tonight. And we've got Rob Primo somewhere in the background. He's going to be jumping in shortly. I'm trying to bring in Bam Bam. He's having technical issues with his phone. He will be joining us tonight. Yes, my dog is hungry because I haven't fed her yet and it's getting late. So I'll have to leave again in about an hour, about 2 minutes. Her dinner's defrosting. What are you drinking tonight?
Beers, and Hashem brought up a good point. It says live or alive.
Anyways, I'm drinking tea. I got nothing to drink. Well, I got lots to drink at home, but I don't want to take any hard liquor.
No, don't go with the hard stuff. Just go with the soft stuff like this. So you still have control by the end of the show.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Rob. So, Rob Primo again from Goofbusters, and shortly, if everything works out, we'll have Bam Bam coming on from Goofbusters, and we can explain and take more of your questions about that.
I think Hashem says he's drinking Long Island teas and stuff, so he's getting hammered.
No, he's drinking tea, not Long Island.
Come on, it was
Look. Don't mention Long Island. So, did you make it to the Goofbusters protest this weekend?
Did I make it? No, I didn't make it. No, heck no. I wish I would have. Things just didn't pan out for me, so I didn't get down there. But I would have loved to. I've been at them before.
Rob, you ready to jump in? All right, let's bring in Rob.
How's it going, guys?
Good. You got any updates for us? What happened this weekend?
Oh, this weekend. We were, let's talk about this weekend. We were back in Port Colborne again. And there's a pedophile in Port Colborne that's been charged in the past, Joe Crawford. And he's a repeat offender. He's somebody who had the system tricked very well. The city, I should say. This guy, back in the day, he had things to do with the church. He, I believe he was a clown for sure. I think for Shriners, but don't quote me on that. I can't recall exactly who, but he basically presented himself like he was this stand-up citizen in the community. And he was doing some pretty terrible things to children. So he was the first time I ever actually protested in front of somebody's house. It was Joe Crawford's house, and it was a very long time ago. Since then, this has happened again, and me and Bam Bam and the Goofbusters and everybody else, we went and protested in front of his house earlier this year. On the streets and not in front of his house, going back up and down the street, letting people know that there's a predator in the neighborhood. And his mother actually identified what was going on there because she put out a piece of paper in everyone's mailbox on the street and essentially said, there's going to be a protest coming this weekend at our house. And we encourage you all to call the police on these people that are coming to the neighborhood and protesting. And she said that there was going to be another gentleman staying with her and basically shooing us away. And that protest went on. And when people found out where people were going to protest, this ended up being probably one of the biggest community awareness safety gatherings. And there was a lot of support there. Since that happened, he was rearrested again and was refused bail once, and then I believe the second time he went up, he got bail again, and now he's out in Port Colborne again. So Bam Bam put out the call for everyone to go show up there and let the neighborhood know where to keep their children safe, where they should keep their children away from. And that's where we're at now. So once again, we have a repeated offender who is continuously let out with bail and reoffends, but for some reason we're putting him back in the community again.
So how is the community when you go there? How are they receiving you? Are they all good? Or are people complaining, or how are they?
This time they were. They were really good. In person, the community's always received us very well. The difference is on the internet. We've had people who have a lot to say, but most of the time it comes from a fake account, a burner account, with some ridiculous name. And you and I both know that that's probably a predator themselves, who's on the other side of that keyboard just typing away, right?
Yeah, 9 out of 10 times it's a predator, and or a sympathizer, or there's a group, and a lot of these people are connected, such as the other one that's coming up on March the 18th, and they're connected in child trafficking. They're connected through distributing child pornography. They're usually connected. So who knows how many people? And you know what? You never know if they got a burner phone. It might be them themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the issue isn't going anywhere. It's only getting worse. And I think people's frustration is boiling over. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into it at some point tonight, but we know, like, we're seeing things like we just seen what happened with the police. Like, how are we supposed to have any trust that anything's going to happen? Like, guys, we are watching police be charged with doing things to kids. We're watching, York and Toronto and whoever all involved in this extortion. And I don't even know. It blows my mind, Stefanos. I could have never imagined that it was going to get as bad as it is right now. But here we are. And I think that unfortunately this country just needed to get as bad as it did for people to realize where we're at.
Yeah, and I think we need to get rid of all the municipal police. All these regional forces need to be gone. They're the most corrupt, the most dirty force that I've come across. We got the NRP, and they're really bad. I've been following them. When I was suing them, I brought forward some 235 different pieces of evidence of police planting evidence on people, unconstitutional searches, you name it, they do it. But this one goes even deeper, and planning a hit on was it a guard or the warden or something of the prison? So it's running really deep in this one, and you got 30 of them. And just remember, they might catch 30 of them. There's probably still another 200-300 or more still going at it at other places. So it never stops. I think they should be done away with, save the taxpayers some money, and get the OPP back that like they used to be. I know there was never anything this bad at the time that the OPP was the force around here. So it's we need some severe changes here.
Yeah, and then you got the added frustration when you do have someone like Bam Bam who's out here essentially spending every single day of his life right now to bring awareness to what's going on. You're seeing that now he built this platform organically. We all watched it happen. I mean, you knew Ray just like I did before he turned into some person on the internet. He's always been like a hero to me because he's my brother and he's a great guy, but nobody else knew that until they got to know him. And now he built this platform. There's 40,000 people that were on his Facebook page, and all these people, he's a voice for them. And that's what a lot of people don't realize is there's people here who have been trapped inside of their bodies and their minds their entire lives. And the kind of stuff Ray just comes out and is vulnerable about and talks on the internet, it really is helping these people a lot. And like, I would go on to say that like what he's doing is more productive than all the counselors in Niagara, like sexual assault ones. Like, I know that sounds kind of ignorant, but like as a whole, like he's helping so many people at the same time. And what do? Like they shut his Facebook down. So now all of these people who talk to him every day don't have him to talk to, don't have him on the internet, don't have him to look to. So the way I see it is you just took away a resource for child sexually abused victims. You took one of their resources away from them. Why? Because he's talking about child predators. That's why. He's done nothing wrong.
No, this is what really gets me, because I watch Ray, I watch you, all the time, and I've never heard Ray ever say anything bad, and it's just what he's doing, how he copes with it, how he heals, trying to share for other people on how to heal. It's nothing wrong. Like I can go on on Facebook here, and I can actually see pedo hunters that are going out there and they're actually using violence on them, but their pages are up. So how the hell is that? So this is the contrast. So to me, I'm going to say it. I don't care what anyone thinks. I think that this is being done purposely. He's being targeted, and he's been told to that Facebook's been told to take him down. So I've been a victim of that also. So there's a lot of stuff going on here that we don't know behind the scenes, and I'm almost sure if we start digging into it by a legal process, we're going to find out who and when and why.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what everyone's uncovering. It's wild. I grew up at a time where everyone used to talk about how all this stuff was conspiracy theories, and as we all keep our eyes open and watch what's going on around us, we realize that all the crazy shit our entire lives we heard is in fact true. And we need to find a way to start having these conversations and start coming up with solutions. I know, like, myself included, it's really easy to start doom scrolling and get all caught up in what's going on around you, and get all caught up in it. It's just as important to get together and start trying to find solutions and ways to talk about it. Is Ed talking to Ray right now?
Yeah, he was talking to Ray, trying to get him set up here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think so you hit on some good stuff there.
No, we're live in the show. I got Bam Bam on my phone.
StreamYard.com. Use your camera and microphone allowed. There we go. Going in.
Finally.
Camera and microphone allowed. Here we go. Entering studio.
Come on, Bam Bam. I want to see your face.
Fingers crossed.
Hello?
Yep. You got to hang up the phone, maybe. Oh, you're coming. Something's happening.
Hello?
There he is.
I don't believe it yet.
Holy crap.
Yes.
Hey, I always said I'm not the smartest, guys, all right? How's everybody going? How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing. How are you doing?
Better now. I was stressed right out. Good thing I got my tools. Good thing, Ed, thank you very much for helping me out there. Much appreciated.
Yeah, I told you he's the brains. I don't know anything, actually. It's all Ed.
I was telling Ed the same thing.
Hey, I'm just a sheet metal guy that does roofing on the side. So
thank you very much for having me tonight, guys. I appreciate it. Much love and respect to everybody.
So I'm going to zoom in on your shirt. What does it say there? Hang on. Let me go full screen. Hang on. What happened there?
Wrong guy. I'm not Ray, all right? You got the wrong guy.
I know that guy.
Okay, so we're not going to say that because we might get banned for it, but at least you can wear it. Oh man. So you've been keeping busy these days, eh?
Yes, I have. Yes, I've been very busy. I don't know where you guys started. I was listening a little bit in there and stuff, and not sure where you want to start off or anything. But I'm Ray Andrews, aka Bam Bam. I am a sexual assault survivor, like some of our friends on here, and I'm here to share and let others know that they're not alone anymore. And I pretty much stepped up into my power a long time ago and started sharing my story about my childhood trauma and the trauma that goes with it, the abuse and the trauma that goes with it as we grow. And just I went into a court when that little baby from Welland got injured, and I showed up there. And to be honest with you, I showed up there with a friend of mine, and when I got there, I got interviewed by the news, and then I got Primo gave me the microphone, told me to get up and pretend I'm sharing smoke and share my story. And I got up there and I shared my story. And when I stepped down off that little bench, I had a bunch of men and women come to me and like, me too, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And it was like something lit a spark in me. I knew I had to step forward and let others know that they're not alone anymore, and that we can share that shame, blame, and fear together. And it's time to heal, more or less, right?
Hey,
And
look,
that's how it all started, right? Like with this group, that's how this all started with me and the Bam Bam group and stuff. But uh,
how,
it's been a ride. That's all I can say, right? It's
how
just
you said that, after that, you stepped into your power, you're feeling, right? Well, I know I am smiling when you're saying that. And that's because I had that very same when we shut that school down, and something just snapped in me,
boom.
and the cop was there, and boom, I made my criminal complaints to the police right then and there, right at the school. And the irony is, they're the ones that called the cops on us, and we weren't even doing anything. But
Yeah.
something snapped, and I had such a big weight off my shoulders. I can't even describe it. You know what I mean? But
It's funny you say that, Steph, because when I do my videos and stuff, like I came home from that court date that day, and I made a Facebook video. And as well as I do, you wear everybody's feelings, all the empathy, everybody's pain, suffering when you're amongst us. It's part of it, right? But it's part of our healing as well. And I got home and I came on Facebook and I did a live, and I never did lives before. And I did a live and I kind of lost it, and I started crying because I had everybody's emotions and my own, and I was overwhelmed. And my page the next day, I woke up and it was like boom and boom, boom, and it just didn't stop. And people started like messaging me and following me, and I had like 200 followers, and it went from 200 to 2,000, then 2,000 to 20,000, and it went to 40,000, and it was just we started doing these. I've always gone out in the streets, and I'll start here. I'll slow down a little bit. Um, you guys got me all rallied, all worked up trying to get on this thing, and then you bang, get me going. I didn't have time to ground. um, so let me start here. At when my father, I charged my father when I was in my late 20s, 30s, from being abused from 4 to 14, sexually. Um, it was brutal. My sisters were involved. Family was involved. It was incest, you name it. It was awful. And my sisters charged him when I was 17. At 17, they came to me and said, we're going to charge dad. I went into, you remember me at 17, I think, Steph, at the Mohawk. I was a maniac, right? And I went, I'm like, well, charge him for what? And I started the booze, the drugs, went downward spiral. I did that till I was about 35. And at 35, I woke up one day and said, I'm done with the booze, the drugs. I got clean and sober. I've been clean and sober since. I'm 54 now. So now 17 years, coming on 17 years. So from somewhere around there. And I charged my father when I was in my 30s. He got out in jail. He got sentenced to 18 months. Got out 9 months early, good behavior. And that's when I got pissed off, because I'm thinking, how does a pedophile get out on good behavior? My sisters had already charged him twice. He got 2 years less a day, got out on good behavior with them. I finally stepped into my power when I was, in my late 20s, 30s, and charged him 4-hour video statement. He gets sentenced 18 months, 9 months good behavior. He's out. And my mother had passed, and I showed up in where he was living, and I knocked on the door, and a bunch of kids answer, and there's a swimming pool in the backyard, and it was like I was reliving my trauma all over again. And that's when I started with the signs. I started making signs. His name was Ray Hunolt. He's dead now. I can say his name. He was my dad. And I put right on it, I put his picture, Ray Hunolt, child predator. Please keep your kids safe. Put them all over the neighborhood. Put them in the mailboxes. Knocked on neighbors' doors. Hey, my dad's a predator. He victimized me. And I told everybody. Well, the cops were called. And because I was the survivor, the victim, as they call us, right? I don't believe in that word, but I was the survivor. I had to go sit down with the Crown, remove that whatever their safety net they put on. What is it called? The publication ban.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned about all this stuff. And I continue to put them on notice and let the neighbors know. And that's how it all started for me. I was in my 30s. I'm 54, and like I said, when that incident happened in Welland, I got that same spark again. And boom, that's how it happened for me, right? And it's continued, it's carried on, and I started building the community on Facebook and got followers. Primo jumped in, he formed the Goofbusters, and then the girls jumped in with the Trauma Breakers. You're in, everybody's in. I asked for backup. I was out hanging up signs one day. I took my phone out and I said, you know what, I'm going to film this and put it on live and ask for some help and let everybody see what I'm doing. And I literally went online. I said, hey, next Saturday, I'm going to be in Thorold South. There's a predator that lives nearby. He's high risk, fourth offender, blah, blah, blah. If you want to show up, here's the address. We'll be in this location. Meet me here. The next Saturday, freaking, there was 20 people waiting for me when I got there. And it was beautiful, right? And we walked the neighborhoods, handed out the flyers, put up these posters again, like we did with my dad, all over the place. Warning, keep your kids safe. Child predator lives nearby. Keep your kids safe. And it went from 20 to 40 to 50 to, I think we had 100 one time in Welland when we're at the Canadian Tire acceptance. We went there. And last weekend, minus 15? I think we had 38 people show up. Right. So, it's getting colder. It fluctuates week to week. People got jobs, people have lives. But this group was started. As an create awareness group. And I've had so many people step into their power and come to me too, Ray, and they joined the backup crew. And like I said, Rob made the Goofbusters and the girls made some Trauma Breakers. There's another group's being made, extensions are being made. And it's what it's going to take, fellas. It's a community. There's a huge problem in our area and worldwide, not just in our area, but in our area, there's a huge problem. And we got to work together to put it out, because I'm sure all of you have seen the news today, how good the police are doing. So that's a whole new subject. All right. But
well, that and not to just sit here and dunk on them right this moment, but I think it's important to say that just to jump in and intersect really quick. I think that's why it's
Primo.
That's what's really important or really important about Ray's work, though, is because while other people are just let's dunk on the police, let's dunk on the politicians and all that stuff. I've already done that. He's already done that. We've already done that. We already know that the things that are supposed to be in place to work, they're not working right now. You can't just, you can't just change the oil and have it work right now. So we're trying to follow the law, but also add up another safety barrier between predators and kids, if that makes sense.
Well, here's the thing. These predators, they work in secrecy. They work behind the shadows. Could be your neighbor. You wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's the scariest part about it, right? We do go, when we're in neighborhoods, before we go there, I find out where they are. I find out who they are, where they live. I track it. I trace them. And I find them. I locate them. I make sure it's the right person. It's the right area. I'll go and I'll put them on notice before. And then I call in for backup like I did in Thorold South. Guys, this is where we are. This is where I'm going to be on Saturday. Everybody show up. And everybody shows up. And we got signage. We got the posters. And we just go. It's a pretty... it's turned into a pretty amazing, beautiful movement, to be honest with you guys. For something so horrible that happened to us, There's a lot of healing going on with this movement. There's a lot more than just showing up in the neighborhoods. I want to make everybody aware of that, right? Because people think, big bad Ray, Rob, these guys all are out screaming, yelling, and yeah, we do want to pass the shame, blame, and fear back onto the predators where it belongs. I want them to hide in their closet and be safe. And when they start thinking freaking their stupid thoughts in their head, they want to touch a kid next time, maybe they'll think of me and Primo in their freaking neighborhoods, and 100 men in their neighborhoods, and 100 women in their neighborhoods, tell them to leave the kids alone, right? That's what we had to live in. Hey, Steph, you know what I'm talking about. We lived in that shame, blame, and fear all our freaking lives, man. Primo, you know what I'm talking about. It's freaking ugly. We don't belong there. That doesn't belong to us. And I've seen what's happening by this movement, by what we are all doing as a collective. A lot of healing is taking place. A lot of that shame, blame, is fear, and people are stepping in their power. Listen, I think it's week 25. I put these protests, these community safety awareness gatherings. That's what I call them. We go down to it's week 25, I believe it is. And as a group, as a community, and I'm watched in those 25 weeks, women, men, children step into their power. Like some people in the backup crew, I'm not going to say names, but weren't able, because of their depression, their anxiety, their PTSD, their mental health, wouldn't allow them to leave the house for 6 months, a year. They showed up at my rally because they see me online and they were following me. And now they're freaking amazing. You should see these people now. I can't believe the growth, the healing, the strength, what they have, what they never had before. So just showing up on the weekend on Saturday is amazing. But the work that's being done in the meantime, and these people, I go online and I share what I do. I'm not a psychiatrist, not a doctor. I've got 20 years of counseling. I'm clean and sober 17 years. I use cannabis in my medicine. That's all I use. I eat really healthy, and I live a good, clean lifestyle. And I've done a lot of work. And I'm just putting I talked to my sister today, who's a survivor, and she said, Raymond, I'm so proud of you. She calls me Raymond. I'm so proud of you. You're giving people permission to step into their power. And I'm like, I'm not giving anybody, people don't need permission, man. I didn't know how to take it. And I'm still trying to sit with that, right? That emotion, you know what I'm talking about, Steph? And I don't want to have to give everybody permission, man. It's time. It's time to step in our power. Like, I'm here for you. Steph's here for you. Primo's here for you. Ed's here for you. There's a lot of men and women that are out there. We're not alone anymore. And that's the biggest message I want to make from this movement.
I think instead of permission, Ray, it's probably direction. You're directing people on how, instructing or.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
I'm sharing because I care. I share because I care. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say the other thing that is very interesting about this movement that we haven't talked about is just how Ray has just I don't know how to explain. I don't want to pump his tires too much. His head might fucking explode, and I don't want coming through my computer right now. But yeah, no, he's a special guy, man. Like I don't know. I really don't know how he does it. Balances it all out, man. It's insane. But I've never seen somebody take on so much in my life before, but is so completely in control of themselves at the same time. He's very disciplined. And when you have these rallies, when Ray started doing this, I talked to him and we talked together about how you're going to lead this and whatever and blah, 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 blah. This is an important thing in our area. People are going to get emotional. Like, people wanted to keep having this way and that way and whatever. And like Ray clearly knew early on, like, I need to jump out in front of this and be a real leader. And like, because obviously emotions are high at stuff like this, right? So, we've had something where some man came outside and, he pulled his pants down in front of the kids. And, any normal man would want to go and just give him a punch in the head. That's just what a normal man would want to do. However, you can't do that in today's world. That's not how you win the war. It's not checkers, it's chess. It's even deeper than that. Like, if you were to make that mistake and slip up and hit somebody, then all of a sudden your wife's vulnerable, your children are vulnerable. Who's at home protecting them? All these people you're trying to keep them from are doing whatever they want while you're in a jail cell, right? So it's you need leadership. You need someone like Ray. We've had people come out who have got a little too excited, and Ray's not shy. Like right away, it's like, if you're gonna fucking act like that, get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome here. And you when you have this kind of a protest in front of someone's resident area, you have to have people like that, because people are always going to want to cross the line, and as soon as that line's crossed, then it's not what.
Yeah, there's no going back at that point,
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's it. Believe it or not, it's I don't know how to put it. It's most of the people that are there, like I said, like some of the people, like not everybody's like the three of us guys, eh? And most people, like, it takes a lot of people to step up and to show up. And once they start showing up, that comes with time. And that's what I was saying, Rob. That's exactly what your point is there. I'm watching people get to there. I listened. You and I both know this kid. All three of us do. I'm not going to say any names during this podcast. And I talked to the parents today. The kid's 9, and he stepped in his power, and he's coming clean. It's a 9-year-old child, 9-year-old little boy. He's going to get counseling right now, 10 years old. Imagine that was there for us, right? You know what? This is what the movement's all about. This is what I'm talking about. We got kids, younger kids. Like it's amazing what's happening, boys. And you're seeing it, you're feeling it. I know you are. I've watched you guys. You know what I mean? I'm proud of all of us, right? I know what it takes, guys. It's not a nice road, right? Unfortunately, it never goes away, right? But it's nice. It's nice to know we're not alone anymore, right? It's the best part of this, right?
Exactly, and I think there's a bit of a comfort being together with.
But now you know what time it is. You know what time it is now? It's time for those motherfuckers to pay, right? That's what time it is. Right?
That's sure. That's
you know what I'm saying?
What's happening now?
So that's what time it is, boys. It's time for all of us men, us survivors, to turn around and pull the others out and help them. Right? That's why we're here. I totally believe that in my heart, fellas. I honestly do. So Rob, I appreciate that. I appreciate what you said about me, and I feel the same way about you guys, man. You guys are we're all brave, man. We're all survivors. Some aren't. We're all healing at different levels, right? Everybody is. That's what I'm saying. I'm watching people step into their power week by week by week. People getting stronger, braver, wanting to use the mega. Last week, look at how many people used the megaphone, Primo. How many people grabbed that megaphone? I've been doing that for weeks, and I'm going to talk about megaphones. So everybody says this is something that keeps me freaking. It's pretty funny. Everybody says, I'm the big vigilante. I scare people in their neighborhoods, and I shouldn't, be yelling and screaming and be loud. So one of my backup crew brought me this. It's a little mini megaphone. But here's the best part about it, Steph. Watch, listen to this. Hello there. It actually works. So I was out one weekend, and I pulled this out of my pocket, and I actually did put a pedo on notice. Gotta have fun, eh, guys? We're taking something that happened that's so ugly to us. We're turning it into something big, beautiful, healing movement. And in the meantime, we're gonna have some fun doing it, I guess, right? So I was given that. Everybody thought it was funny. It's cute. It actually works, and I don't look as big, bad, and scary anymore, do I?
So, Bam, I gotta ask you.
Yes.
Do you think this hasn't been done yet, as of yet, because all the people that have been violated have been suffering in silence, and they're ashamed of it?
100%. That's the biggest thing that holds us men, specifically men. That shame. Listen, when I was growing up and I was living in that shame, blame, and fear, I was a bouncer of a bar, right? I used to bounce all the bars around here. I was the big tough guy, the collector. I was Bam Bam, right? That's why I got that. And people didn't know this about me because I had that mask on. I would walk into the bar as the bouncer, the big tough guy, have to throw all the drunks out and everything like that. And I was just as high and as drunk as everybody else.
Hang on. Stop right there. I used to be a bouncer too.
Where?
Nags Head North. I got hired, and I didn't know about this, but one of the bouncers actually got knifed, and I got hired because CPI wouldn't send anyone else to replace him.
What city
This
was
back
that
in the
in?
80s.
What city was that in?
Markham, just north of Toronto. Nags Head North.
I bounced everywhere around here in Niagara, all Niagara, Crystal Beach,
Yeah.
Fort Erie. But
But here's the thing: if people are playing football and the great football players, they get praised, right?
Yeah, I used to play
You
ball
go to
too.
a bar, you get drunk, and you get kicked out. How does that make sense?
I know.
Ray kicked me out one time too, and I'm on his dick.
You deserved it. You deserved it.
Yeah, I know people step out of line.
But
Sometimes
here's the
when they're
thing:
drinking.
this is the difference from real men. We're still buddies.
There you go. So here's something like Rob said he doesn't want to, come down on the cops all the time, and I'm when it comes to policing, I'm super.
You love them. You love them.
It's not that I hate them, right? I don't, because I know a lot of cops, and I know a lot of them are good. I even know some high upper ups.
Yep.
And
there's good and bad and everything, bro.
Yeah, there is. But the things that when it comes to this kind of stuff, I know there's good and bad. I know every single one of them in Niagara, who's good, who's bad. I already know who that is. And and in Grimsby, by the way, because Grimsby I sued twice, so I know exactly who's who. And but one of the things is it was Grimsby, it's 8th District, who laid the charges on the guy who worked at that military school. And what really made me snap that day was the fact that one of the other survivors from that school, good guy Jared, and we were all together. There was a whole bunch of us together, and Jared's questioning, "Are you going to go and arrest all the pedophiles? This is what we're stuck on. Are you going to go and arrest the pedophiles?" And they're like, "We don't know what you're talking about." And we're like, "Oh, you just arrested Alstead." Like, we don't know who that is. So they were playing dumb, and that's what pissed me off. Maybe in their head they were trying to de-escalate the situation, so they're trying to but diffuse it. But that pissed me off. That's where I snapped at that point, and I jumped in, and I let him have it. I said, "Bullshit! You're 8th District. You're the fucking ones who arrested him."
Yeah.
So that was. When you start trying to run cover for that crap,
there's a fine line, when you're just doing your job, right? You know what? Listen, I've had nothing but good interactions with the Niagara Regionals since I started this. At first, it was not all. Like, I don't want to say good. It's been okay, but now it's all good. But at the beginning, I threw them off. Like, nobody's done what I'm doing. Right. So to ask people to show up in people's neighborhoods and yelling and screaming. I remember I was getting the phone calls from the cops, and they were like, "Listen, man, were you in this neighborhood?" And I'm like, What are you talking about?" "Well, were you here?" I'm like, "Where?" "Well, we heard you were." I said, "Well, did you hear I was, or was I there?" Right. And they're like, "Well, we seen your truck." Right. And I'm like, "Well, who's seen my truck?" Right. And I had already posted it. Right. So they didn't want to tell me they were following me, and I knew what they were doing. I was playing their little game, and I said to them, "Guys, so what do you want?" And they're like, "Well, the pedophile called me, and he wants to let you know how scared he is." I was just like, oh, so you're calling me for what reason? Right. So that's how it started off. But we always kind of had to laugh about it. Right. Like that's how it was. Right. And it was never like, don't do that. Right. I've had them show up here one time. I had one cop show up here. He heard my name from the complaint, and he showed up here just to shake my hand and say thank you for what I'm doing. And when he left my house, he stayed here we almost served him dinner, man. Like, the guy was he was a 28, 30-year-old kid. And when I walked him out to his car to get his business card, he turned around to me with tears in his eyes and said, "Thank you for doing what you're doing, man. Me too." He goes, "You're the third person I've ever told in my life." And I've had so many officers do that to me. So I know, like you say, they're good and they're bad. You don't want to bang on them and crash on them and stuff. But I've also said this to them: "Guys, there's good cops and there's bad cops. So why don't you good cops get together and get rid of the freaking bad cops?" Right? That's what needs to be done.
Why?
So
Because they end up shooting each other, eh, Stefanos?
bingo.
That's what happened. And you know, Effingham, right?
Bingo.
I was gonna say the reason when we get onto this topic on a local
Oh.
level that I just kind of like shut my mouth and don't say anything is because I'm a very real person and I don't
Give Rob
I don't like
megaphone.
to what's that? I'm a very real person, right? So I don't want to over exaggerate anything. Me and them have had some good encounters, I guess, but we've had some real bad ones too. So like, you know, I'm not looking to have a target put on my head, even though there's definitely one already there. But I mean, when that protesting shit was going on and they charged us for the no more lockdown stuff, right? The police wouldn't charge me. They had to go and hire a bylaw officer to charge me with the 800,000 in fines potentially and 8 years in jail. And the police wouldn't charge me. I know this for fact when I seen the disclosure and I have all the papers and I seen how the investigation went and who. So like they literally had to hire a bylaw officer and train a bylaw officer to do something different just to charge me because the police wouldn't here. So it's hard for me to like punch down on them. However, they've had some times where they really fucking piss me off and they know that. And I know that there's been times where I really pissed them off and I can admit to that too. So I mean, me and the police have had a rocky relationship, but I would say it hasn't been good or bad. It's like fair, I guess.
Well,
so
one of the reasons why I do this show with Stefanos and we cover the topics that we cover is a lot of us don't know what the hell is going on and what is legal, what is lawful,
Yeah.
what you can do, what they can't do. And the cops, they're acting, they don't even know the law.
They
the
make their own
truth
laws.
is,
They
the
make their
truth
own
is-
laws.
Hang on, because we don't know what we can do, and what we cannot do. That's one of the biggest reasons why, you know, I spend time on this show, why we bring up legislation, why we talk about constitutional issues, court cases going bad, why they go bad, the ones that go good. Some of the court cases actually do go well. And we're just trying to publicly educate the people of what the laws are in Canada and specifically Ontario, what you can and cannot do. Now, we're not going to cover everything, but personally, myself, I would never have stood up to the cops until COVID. And then I started figuring out, well, what they're doing is unconstitutional. It's against the law. It's wrong. That's when I found, that's when I decided to stand up to the cops. And I didn't bother them. I just ignored them. They used to say, hey, Ed, they all knew me by my first name. Figure that one out.
Hey, Ed,
Everyone called him by my first name.
I think we
They
got
never asked me for
comment.
ID. They just gave me tickets. And I said, yeah, whatever. I'm not paying that.
Ed, that's because you showed up with your big truck for 3 years with a speaker in the back. That's how easy it is to become a big political target in Ontario. For real, that's how much of a joke we are. When the convoy shit was going on, that was what Ed would do. Ed would show up in his truck, as you all know, with a nice speaker, and he would let people stand on his truck and say a speech. And the police knew who he was because of that. Like that's how
beautiful.
crazy.
It's beautiful. Yeah, we all went through hell over that bull crap over that shit.
Yeah, Ray got charged. You should talk.
I
about
got
that.
charged. I went into the Tim Hortons and Wendy's combination store and I no mask on. I'm medically exempt as well because of my childhood trauma, PTSD. I can't have something over my face because my dad used to put his hand over my face. So I couldn't wear the mask. And I walked into Tim Hortons, ordered a coffee, no mask. Take my coffee. I go walk across. I ordered Wendy's. No, sorry. I take my coffee. I go sit down. Next thing I know, a 15-year-old boy is up to me and he's saying, hey, sir, do you have a vaccine passport? And I said, no. And he goes, well, you're supposed to have a mask on in here. And I said, oh, I don't need a mask. I'm medical exempt. He goes, well, can you prove that? And I said, yeah. And he goes, can you show me? And I go, well, I'm not going to share my medical records. Next thing you know, I get up and I go to the Wendy's. I order food at Wendy's. I go sit down. That boy comes back to me with 2 other men. Same thing happened to me. Next thing I know, 3 cops walk in. They wanted to freaking assault me. They asked me for vaccine. I video taped it all. They asked me for, end up asking me for a vaccine passport. Where's my mask? Blah, 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 blah. I have to leave. I stayed and ate my food, ate my lunch. When I was done, I got up and I walked out. And then they said they're going to charge me property trespass. I said, nobody asked me to leave. Next morning, they knocked on my door, gave me a ticket, and I showed up to court. I ended up beating it, but I got the bullshit too. I didn't wear the mask either. I couldn't, and we all went through it, right? Anybody that stood in your power, right?
Hey,
So,
look, I'm jealous because I didn't get charged. I tried my damnedest to. I had parties.
they knew
I
that.
was throwing out fireworks and everything, Not what happened, but I might be wrong, but I doubt it, So it just wouldn't bother me, man. They wouldn't bother.
You're the best.
But again, cops are assuming we're ignorant, that we don't know what we're doing,
Yeah.
that we don't know the law, that we don't know our rights, that we don't know nothing about the Constitution, that we know nothing about the limits on government.
Yeah.
Look at the shit Trudeau pulled.
It's true. Trudeau did. Look at. Well, I said that to the cops. I go, hey, as per the Ontario Privacy Act, I don't have to share my medical records with anybody but my doctor. They had no idea what I was talking about. And then I said to the other cop, I'm like, so why are you here again? And I had him on camera, right? Because the cop had his hand on his gun. They were so like, it was ridiculous. And at that time, I got a fused spine. I got a 4-level fusion laminectomy decompression done in 2018. So this happened in like during COVID. So I was using a cane at that time, and I was a completely different person. And these cops, like my cane was on the table, and they knew. And these cops were like, the cops wanted to fight me because I didn't have a mask on. There was old people, there was elderly. They were telling me I was making the scene. They were yelling at me. The cop had his hand on his gun. I even said to him, I go, hey, bud, you're not scaring me, but why do you have your hand on your pistol? I don't have I'm eating a burger. How could I have a mask on eating a hamburger? I'm in Wendy's. They serve me. I'm a paying customer. This is a public place. I'm allowed to be in here. They have a business license. I gave them legal tender. That makes me legal to be in here. You can't do this to me. And then I got the girls. Well, you need to have a vaccine passport. I looked at her and I said, say that again. And she said it again to me on the video. And I just said to her, I go, it's pretty scary when you got 3 young rookies in here that don't have a clue what they're talking about, and they're just listening because they're being told what to do, right? And like I said, Ontario privacy, they had no idea what I was even talking about. But you're so right.
Hey,
people don't understand, right? You have a voice.
Imagine if the police ever just took like 50 people from India and put them in police uniforms. What could happen?
Yeah, imagine that, eh? 50. That's pretty. That's a pretty low number, Rob.
I'd walk around with a cow and a knife under the cow's throat and say, just try it. Go ahead.
A goat, not a cow.
Cows are sacred.
Yeah, so there was I am just going to take 1 minute here and say hi, Chris, Nancy, Curly, Hashem, our brother, Ordinary Joe, because I didn't get a chance to, and Sarah, I think I didn't miss her. But, yeah, so hello from all of us.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so one of the things, Ed, that's pretty interesting, what's been coming out as of late, I'm seeing a lot of in the States and in Canada, both, where they have illegals. They're not even citizens, and they have them in police uniforms. They've given them a gun and everything, which is against the law. So what's going on here? Who's authorized this kind of stuff? Is there any wonder why they're going on about, we have this problem with all this extortion suddenly out of the blue, massive pedophilia down here. It's almost like Niagara has suddenly become the hot spot, and that's because we got
the cesspool.
We got the ports, we got the trains, we got
the borders.
The borders. It's a major trafficking highways or avenues that they use.
Niagara Falls, yeah.
Did you know that all those hotels that were all empty, they were full of children that were being trafficked, and females and males? It was massive, and they were being pimped out right out of the hotel rooms. How do you not pay attention or notice? Don't you notice? And I mean a lot of them. And you were reading.
They're all in on it. They're in on it. That's why. What else could it be, man? If you and I know this, and the public knows this, How do they not know this? Okay. It's pretty simple. And if they do know it, why can't it's so easy to go look, right? And they're just lucky, like we're just being nice, right? Like seriously, what's it gonna take, right? Like I don't know, man. Like the shit you and I had to go through, and what we have to go through to today, and I just don't understand why the justice system allows the worst of the worst of the worst crime that could happen to anybody to have the least sentence. You get people growing pot back in the day, they would get sentenced to 5 years in jail for growing a couple cannabis plants, right? I had buddies, right? Getting a couple ounces of weed, they got sent, like it's crazy, right? But the pedophile get slapped on the wrist, get 18 months, you're out in 9 months. You've done the worst thing you can do to somebody. Make
Yeah,
it make sense. Make it make sense, right? And it's just then you hear about the other things and like I don't want to bash on it, but where else are we supposed to put the blame? It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's not Ed's fault. We didn't do this. We didn't ask for this. You know what? We might have allowed it by not stepping up soon enough, but we didn't. But we shouldn't have had to. These people are put in power to serve and protect. They've signed an oath, right? That we're in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of trouble in every way, shape, or form, and
the-
I look forward to the day when people start realizing it before it's too late. That's all, I guess. I don't know.
How come there's no public a sex offender registry here in Canada yet?
That's what people need to start asking, right?
they
Why?
need to protect it, Ed. They got to protect them. Pedo protectors.
I believe there's no public registry because when the public registry, if it ever does come out, there's going to be some names on there that people aren't going to like to see, right? Some judges and some lawyers and some doctors and some higher ups and some, and
I've seen the cases. I've seen the cases.
we hear about it all the time. You can go on any Google and type in sexual assault Niagara Regional Police. There's a list. Sexual assault and cops. There's a list, just like you can do it with the school teachers.
There,
Sexual assault and school teachers charged with sexual assault. You
there,
can play on. You can do this all day. You can scroll Google all day with
there's
sexual assault.
a lot of power, a lot of power in there. Like I said with the school, and I don't mean to keep coming back to that, but you're bringing up great points, and one of the points is, so that school had a silent co-founder, and it was Cleese, William Cleese. I can't remember his first name, but William was his middle name. And there was an article that came out, and that is Prince Andrew's other pedophile.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Multiple pedophiles, and this is the type of power we're dealing with. Like, at least in my case, there's a lot of power behind there.
Oh, buddy, it's that's the see. This is what's being shown by you doing what you're doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. Everybody needs to step up and start talking, right? To show how many tentacles there are. Like this is worldwide. This isn't just it's not just Niagara region. This is everywhere. That's the problem, right?
So the biggest problem is up until now, or recently, everybody's been suffering in silence. And they think, I'm just one person. What can I do? Now you get 20, 30, 40, 50 people showing up, 100 people showing up. Now you're letting everyone else know in the neighborhood. Yep. Suddenly, there's going to be a cop to the pedophile is going to be calling the cops saying, hey, I'm scared. What's going on here? Get these people to back off, as he should be. Now, if he's not going to reoffend, he's got nothing to worry about. Correct?
Correct.
But if nobody knows that the guy could offend or reoffend, don't you believe the public deserves to know, especially young helpless kids? You can't let your kids go out on the street now. You got to watch them. My parents were around when I was a kid.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. My dad was my monster, and he was. I don't know. Times were different back then. I don't know how it would be. Right.
Well, people got to get.
I didn't have a dad like other dads, right? That were their protectors, right? So I can't relate to that, unfortunately, right? So
you got to find some way to forgive them if you can. And
you know what, brother Ed? That's funny you said that. I'm going to tell you something. So when I charged my father, I showed up to the courtroom. I made a 4-hour video statement, okay? And I got into that courtroom. I was told he was pleading not guilty, okay? I walked into the courtroom. I see the lawyer sees me, my lawyer, his lawyer and me are friends. I knew he was guilty. He knew I was guilty. So the lawyer stands up and says, "No, Your Honor, I can't represent Mr. So and so. I have a different last name. I'm friends with the son. I didn't know." And I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "Can you give me 5 minutes alone with my dad? I'd like to talk to him." And they're like, "What? No, you can't do that. No, you're going to kill him." I'm like, "No, seriously, you can bring the judges, the cops." I knew a couple of the lawyer. There was another lawyer in there I knew. I said, "You bring both lawyers in, bring the crown attorney, bring the cops in, put me in handcuffs. I want to look my dad in the face and I want to ask him to protect me for the very first time and plead guilty because we both know what happened." You know that I was granted that wish. Him and I went into a room with the crown attorney, cops. I was in handcuffs. They put him in cuffs. We sat across of a table. And we looked each other in the eye, and I said to him, "Dad, for the first time in your life, can you protect me like you should have as a child? Plead guilty. You know what you did to me." I watched my monster crumble underneath the table, blubbering tears, lost it, pled guilty right in front of everybody. I was in tears. I asked the police, I said, "Can you take the cuffs off me, please?" And they're like, "You got to." They took the cuffs off. I helped my dad up from the table. They took his cuffs off. I gave him a hug for the first time ever, I think. And I told him I loved him. I forgive him. I let him go. And I honestly believe in my heart that was the biggest part of my healing journey I ever took, besides getting clean and sober. If I didn't forgive him, I haven't forgotten. I'll never forget. But I had to. That's the biggest part of everybody's journey, and is how crazy and is how hard it is for somebody to do. You gotta. It's more about forgiving yourself, right? You gotta let everything go. You gotta. It's that shame, blame, and fear. But it is. You're right, Ed. You're so bang on with the forgiveness. You're right. You're right. I did. I picked him up. I hugged him. He pled guilty. We walked back in that courtroom. The video statement didn't have to be done. He got let go. Like I said, got sentenced 18 months. Got let out 9 months. I forgave him, but when I did what I did after, right? I forgave him, but that was for me, not for him, right?
Ray
So
probably can't read that, but I know he'd be happy to answer that, Ed.
what did it
What
say?
was your
I
father's
can't see.
history? Was he abused?
My father?
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me he was. He said to me, he goes, he said it to me that day. I was abused too. I'm so sorry. And I said, "Well, just because you were abused, am I supposed to hurt my kids? Right? You should have been strong enough and protected me. That's why I want you to do it today." And he did. He protected me. And that was why I was able to forgive him, because he did that. If he didn't, I don't know what would have happened. Honestly, I don't know if it would have went differently in that room. I don't know what would have happened, but uh, by the grace of God, something happened, and I've had a few interactions in my life with something bigger and better than me that helped me get through things. And I don't know, man. Everything happens for a reason. That day happened for a reason in my life, and I believe that day was the biggest part of my healing journey. So, Ed, you're right, and it's a hard thing for people to, Steph. I don't know how you feel about that. Rob, I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know how other survivors or victims feel about that. You got to get somewhere in your journey to understand it.
Hey, that's funny you said that, because again, you see me smirking when you were talking, and again, not anything bad, but
Nope.
when you said you wanted to talk to your dad, no shit of a lie. 2 days ago, I was talking to someone, and I said I would love to stand with the founder of that school and have a conversation with him. I want to stand with him now, not man the child, but man.
Yes.
I want to see in his eyes. I want to look into his eyes. I want to read his body language. I have.
Yeah, I
So
got to see that, Steph. I got to do that, That
well,
was big.
that's why I smiled right away when you were
I
saying.
was 30. You remember me at 30, right?
Yeah, yeah. 2 days ago, though. This is the crazy thing. That was 2 days ago. I was just
That's how the
talking.
universe works, brother. That's how the
Not
universe
not
works.
to beat the crap out of him or anything. Just
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
that opportunity. I'm not a
That
kid.
eye to eye look and say, "Fuck you," right? Yeah, I know what I know what you mean, brother. It's beautiful, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I'm grateful I got to do it. I
You
would never change. I would never change a thing about that day. I walked out of that courtroom. I'll never forget. I walked out of that courtroom. I was blubbering mess, but you know what? The weight was that's I could feel it. I could physically feel the weight coming off my chest, off my shoulder, off my neck. Like it was pretty amazing. I got goosebumps as I just shared that story with you guys. So on top of goosebumps. So wow. It's it's been a journey. That's all I know. We all know the journey. We've all lived it. We've all walked it. We've all breathed it. Right? It's very
so
unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
Rob, did you?
You know what's wild is that is when you hear that story from Ray. I've heard that story 20 times now, but like, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how tough you are. It doesn't matter how masculine you are. You just kind of shut up and listen, and you're in like a different state of mind. Just you're so in tune to what he's saying, listening to that story. It's like one of those stories you hear that you never forget again in your life. And to think that there's people out there in this world that want to shut that up, it shows you that this world is run by Satan right now.
Thanks, Primo. Thanks, brother.
And you know, Rob, again, just by you saying that, like, literally, I'm envious of Ray that he got that opportunity to do it. I want that opportunity. I'm never going to get to do it.
That guy's still alive? Is that guy still alive?
I know where he is.
Why don't you send him? Why don't you write him a letter? Why don't you write him a letter yourself? And even if you don't give it to him, and you read it out yourself out loud, and then you can burn it after. But get it off your chest. That's the best advice I can give you, bro. It's something you want to do, and if you don't think you can get, I think you can get the opportunity where you can actually go physically and see him, because I believe you're strong enough of a man that you got the drive to do that. You know how to do that shit. You're good at this stuff. You deserve, that little boy inside you deserves that. So you should strive to do that, and that'll be part of your healing journey, bro. And if you can't get physical with him eye to eye, write it on a piece of paper. If you got to write it 1,000 times, write it out. Cry, scream, yell while you're doing it. If you got to burn it after, do it. It's, trust me, brother, it helps. I did. For me, my sister was the writer. She wrote a book. She did all kinds of stuff. It helped heal her. Give it a try, bro. Trust me. I'm saying it because I love you like a brother, man. And if you need help to go see this guy, I'll go with you, man. I'll drive you. I'll bring you. I'll go knock on the door with you, man. No problem. No problem, brother.
I think I may just write him up and see if he'd be agreeable to a meetup.
Sit down and have a coffee.
Right. I don't want him afraid.
No. Bring the police. Tell them. Bring the police. I just want to talk to you. I want to look you in the face, and I want to tell you, hey, what you did to me was wrong. Even if you write it on paper, even if you send him an email, whatever, you got to do it. Do that, bro. You know what? You just said that for a reason, man. So everything happens for a reason. So
yeah, and the interesting about my case and several others from that school is we didn't have one single abuser. We had multiple abusers over a course of years, and you know, there's guys that had even way more years than I did. You know, double the years, and you know, how do you deal with that? This is why I don't know. I think for myself, this is why I want the founder. I want to be face with him, because he was a complete fraud. He was exposed by the media. He was exposed, the Fifth Estate. They all exposed him. But I had multiple abusers. It wasn't just any one. And I know.
Are all those abusers being held accountable?
Well, this is the other hurdle we got. We can't hold them accountable because even though all the criminal complaints, and there's a lot of us, there's not just one or two, there's a lot. I mean, a lot of us. And problem is, we got NRP in a conflict of interest, and I told them you can't pass off to York because we got an active duty staff sergeant, Beth Millard, on York Regional Police Force who sat on the board of governors of Robert Land Academy. So, you know, there's even a greater conflict of interest.
Huge conflict of interest, man.
Yeah,
well,
and
why isn't the whole board being held accountable? I don't understand. Like, see, what you say to me, I followed your story and I listened to you guys, and it's like I don't understand how these people aren't being held accountable. It doesn't make sense to me. Like
That's
you
like
guys
the
were
police
victimized.
That's like the police that just got caught. Now they're going to have the same police service
Yeah.
investigate them.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it is.
That's how crazy it is.
Like, it's
this is
like
what I'm
after
saying.
the
Like, it's
emergency.
nuts.
It's like after the Emergency Act thing was over, and then Trudeau has his buddy Rouleau come and be the person to oversee it. Every single time, it's somebody they already have. It's a script.
It's all. Oh yeah, it's.
And they'll never let us challenge
puppets.
anything on. They'll never let us challenge anything on a constitutional level.
No.
As soon as I launched a charter challenge with my case, and they knew we were going to actually try and go somewhere, they didn't want to give us the opportunity to set a precedent. You know that. Because then it would have just rolled them all over like that. And they never wanted to give us a chance.
Right.
They just wanted to drag it on and drag it on and drag it on and make you complacent, make you controlled, make you do what they said while they continued to make money for a while there. And then, boom, all your charges are gone. Okay, we got what we needed, and we used you as our, you know.
Well, they use you and use people like us with voices to scare everybody else. Right? Look what they're doing to Primo. Look what they did. Oh my God, we can't do that. We can't go out in the streets and protest. We can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right? Setting examples, because a lot of people are weak-minded, right? Like we know this. There's a lot of weak-minded people out there. That's one thing COVID taught me of how weak society really is. Like how many people just bent over and held their ankles and walked around like sheep. Like it was just disgusting. Like I would be standing in lines with no mask, and like these people, like weak men wearing masks, thinking that they have the right to tell me, why are you a mask? What are you doing? And it's just like, wow, man, like what's wrong with you people? Like, you know, the keyboard warriors came out to life, and they're outside in the freaking lineups, and it's just like, you know, I just couldn't believe what was going on and how people treated me and the police and how everybody. It was like being in what was that show? Not Alice in Wonderland, but freaking Twilight Zone, right? It was like, what the hell's going on, man? Is this real? Like, you know what I mean, what's going on?
And that's where government learned on how easy it is to control and manipulate people.
Wow, like
the majority, right?
It was scary, right? A lot of weak men, a lot of society's really weak, right? And there's got to be something in the Canadian water, because hey, when they found out with Trudeau that, you know, executive order was illegal, why didn't Canada go lose their shit? Like we already knew it was illegal. We already knew our rights were stepped on. We already anybody with a brain in their head knew it was illegal. When everybody knew their rights were trampled on, they weren't even the real police that were down in Ottawa. Like the stuff that the people were there that got victim. Like Rob was there. He knows the stuff that he went through and the people went through that were in Ottawa just to stand up in their power was ridiculous.
That's another thing to point out on the subject of police too. Although I've never seen them behave as aggressive as they did at the convoy since that day, it's insane how they acted at that convoy. It was insane. Like there was so much built up. Like they wanted our fucking blood. Like it wasn't a joke. Like I remember I was walking with Chris Sky going to get a freaking sub shop, and me and Chris are like it's like we're literally getting followed by a criminal gang. Like we both had each other's back, and it'd be like, Chris, look over there, and there'd be like 20 marching behind us, and then there'd be another 20 marching behind, and it's like me and Chris Sky are sitting at the table and having a sandwich together, and there's like 30 police out front, 30 police on the side of the building,
all taxpayers' money
in the building. And me and Chris Sky are sitting there like
laughing.
Eating a sandwich. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like you guys have 30 cops on us and we're eating a sandwich? Like what the fuck?
It's a deadly weapon. Come on, it's a sandwich.
Oh my goodness.
Rob, the media can really fuck people up in the head. You guys actually thought like two dudes eating a sandwich saying like, yeah, this is fucked, blah blah blah, like needs
freedom.
You know? Holy fuck. Meanwhile, we got Indians like just getting out of their car and like blasting guns at houses, and they're like, "Oh, that's normal. That's normal.
It's okay. It's all right."
They're like, "You got to get those guys over
there."
Hey,
Canadians, you got to give your guns away, though. Canadians, give your guns and leave your keys at the door.
You got to go get those guys. They don't want to get vaccinated.
Man,
They
I
want to
lost.
stand up. They want to stand up to the predators in the neighborhoods. They're the big bad guys. It makes me sick. What's that? Love it. There it is.
So,
Primo the
Rob, you're making
backup.
me jealous. I had to go back to Markham to go snow plowing those 3 days they were cleaning you guys out of Ottawa. But I was back there Saturday afternoon, and I'll tell you, I had a 5,000 black balloons.
Nice.
And I was trying to find used motor oil and black paint. It's good enough for Antifa. It's good
I
enough for
can't
me.
see the comments.
Yeah.
Are people comment? I can't read the comments.
Yeah. Bob's saying that he was in Ottawa on the last day. When he looked in the soldiers' eyes, he says, "I believe they didn't understand English, and they were actually just killing machines."
Yeah.
That's why you've seen such a difference in the police that were there. No, they weren't, Bob. So that was a falsehood.
Quebec sortie, no?
There were not UN soldiers. Somebody had gone by the airport. That airport is where they do maintenance on the UN's planes. So when they see the UN symbol on there, everybody starts saying that. As a matter of fact, because we were going, we did get a couple of cases that we were going to court with, and from that, that actually the people they were claiming were UN soldiers were not. They were the Quebec police that they were brought in by from Quebec there. And
Quebec. Yeah. I heard that.
and you know, I had
called the QPP.
What's that? Go ahead, Rob.
I think they're called the QPP.
Yeah, and I some just after that had happened, I know NRP was down there also. They took police from all over the place, and
Yeah, every precinct had some down there.
and
offering overtime.
A cop had called me to try to give me shit because just a bullshit call as usual.
Yeah.
Well, I turned it around on the motherfucker, and I actually got it recorded. So one day I'm gonna, like, the stuff I have is ridiculous, and I told him off for 45 fucking minutes straight. I told him off and told him shame on him for going and beating fucking Canadians down there in Ottawa and everything else, and using violence against their own fucking citizens. And I told him what kind
Crazy,
of
bro.
it was and stuff. But, you know, like I said, it's those cops that I don't fucking like. Not all cops. I love them.
Yeah. Like I said, any cop that's showed up at my rallies, they've been great. They shake my hands. They get out. They've taken pictures. Like they say hello, right? There's been nothing negative. Like I said, I've had a couple call and say, "Be careful, you're not harassing them." They're calling me and they're being scared, and it's not negative, right? Like, I'm not doing anything bad. We're allowed to legally protest. We're allowed to legally go on the streets. We're allowed to create awareness. As a parent, as a survivor, as a concerned citizen, everybody should be just as concerned as you and I about the children. What's more important than the kids, right? And all four of us on this podcast know how bad the justice system is and how much they cater to the predators, right? Like Ed said, you could have one living next door to you, don't even know, right? You could have 5 kids living outside the house where a predator lives, and you don't know. And we've experienced it in our canvassing of the neighborhoods. Oh my God, we didn't know that. We didn't know he lived there. Oh my God, that's who it is. And it's like, yeah, like, we can't dox him, but he lives over there, right? It's a predator, right? And he's been convicted 4 times. This guy's been, we got high risk. We got high risk predator, high risk. How do you get deemed high risk? What makes you? How many times do you need to victimize the? Like, this is the other thing. Like, there's just so much. It's anywhere you touch in this subject or in any subject that the justice system is supposed to control and help and do right for the people. It's completely twisted, broken, manipulated. Like, it's beyond. It's beyond. It's just out of control. It's just. We got high risk predators that are able, like, high risk, they're deemed 10 times. So this guy's hurt 10 children that have come forward, 10 that we know of that have been brave enough to talk. What about the other 10? You just don't start being a predator, right? You don't start doing it. So why does this man be allowed to walk out in society freely without the society knowing that this guy's even a high risk predator? Like, what if that's your kid? And, like, we've been there. Rob and I have seen it. Like it's real, right? I brought these guys to a neighborhood where there was animals involved, man, in the Niagara region, bestiology. It's disgusting. These people are out walking the streets. Like, what is going on? And this is what I'm trying to create the awareness for people to understand. People, we've been to 25 neighborhoods in 25 weeks. Okay. That's 25 pedophiles. Just because there's that 25, there's one or two or three usually within the areas. Just because it's in one area, there's another one in 2 areas over, 2 blocks over, 4 blocks over. It's ridiculous. Like seriously, we go to Port Colborne, they're everywhere in Port Colborne. Like it's wow. That's all I got to say. It's I called. You call and try to ask for help. And what are you guys doing? What are your safety net? Like, what are your safeguards? You got a high risk predator living on this street, in this street. Within 300 feet, you got a daycare. You got a 250 feet. There's a public library, right? 400 feet. There's a public school that's grade 4 to down, right? So they don't know about it. None of the parents know about it. None of the teachers know about it. Principals don't know about it. So when Bam Bam and the backup crew shows up, and then they start knowing about it, they start asking the questions, and people are talking. It's creating a buzz, right? That's never been created, and the cops don't like it. Nobody likes it. Pressure's being put down. Like I'm being told bylaws are taking the signs off the post now. They're threatening us with bylaws too. We're being threatened with bylaws. Don't hang signs on posts. Like don't create awareness. Shit travels downhill, and that's what I got to say. Like the cops show up, they love us. Then the cops need to say to their bosses, "Hey, there's kids being hurt. We're going to serve and protect. These guys are getting out. There's high risk predators. We agree with these guys. They agree with what we're doing. They agree with what we're all doing. They're just doing their jobs, and that's the and that's the disconnect. And that's what I keep telling them, guys.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect here. This is a disconnect. You want us to trust you. You want us to believe you. You want us to, to be friendly with you. Do your freaking jobs. Do your jobs. Do your jobs.
And like just to mention, Canada's much different. But if you watch these predator hunters in the States, the cops praise them. They love them. Like right on camera, they come and get these people and whatever. And they're all like shaking hands and, oh, you're doing great. And, like if you ever watch Alex Rosen and those guys, it's like, it's crazy to think there could be any type of animosity between the two. Like people on the street spending their, using their spare time to try and
what we went through.
Yeah.
Look at the shit we went through, Rob, with all the people in the town that don't like us and the stuff that it finally calmed down and stopped, right? But when we started coming out, there was so much, I couldn't believe the amount of hate, and I'm looking at Rob and I'm like, how can people hate us? We're standing in the streets for helping kids. We're survivors ourselves, standing in our power, letting people know that there's predators living by. What is there to hate about that, right? Like. So, but you know what? We turned it around. We loved our haters. And you know what? Like I said, this is week 25, 26 together as a group, I think. One of my followers told me, I've been watching you for like 23, 24 weeks. I'm like, really? It's been that long? I lost track over the holidays, over the Christmas holidays. We kind of all took a break. I went and did my thing again. And then after New Year's, we started back up and like we started doing the courts and stuff and doing bigger and better things and like, just trying to create the awareness that wasn't there when we were little kids. Like I wish there was somebody out in the neighborhood when I was 8 years old, right? Letting me know that there was somewhere I could go that was safety, that I could run out the street and see 25 men and 25 women walking on the streets with signs saying pedophiles come, pedophiles, right? Knowing what that was, that I could go ask for help. Like I say, if I'm saving one kid and there's 25 people doing it with me, that's 26 kids being helped, right? 26 different people listening. I don't know.
When are you guys heading up to Guelph? Look at Repeat Pedal released in Guelph last week. And
yeah, they're everywhere.
Focus conditions and rearrested. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like with the stuff we're doing, it's very time consuming and we don't really have any extra time at the moment, to be honest.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We'll get there. I'd like to make chapters. I said this. I made a video about this at the beginning about making chapters and bringing this in every city across Ontario, across Canada. Everywhere should have a group of people that are concerned. And like, where's the block parent? I don't know if you remember block parent when we were kids. Have something like that. I even said that to the police. I've talked to them. I talked to the mayor's assistants in Port Colborne and stuff, and we were calling out the. Doug Ford and the premier and where's all the local politicians that are supposed to be out in the. We've been in Port Colborne 5 weeks. I haven't seen one politician, not one newspaper, not one thing positive showing up, giving us solutions, answers, what we're gonna do. So I started making phone calls. Hey guys, start asking. It's our right to protect the kids. It's our right to ask what their safeguards are. There's a predator. He's a multiple time predator. He lives here. There's a school 350 feet away that our kids under 4. He likes porn. He's made porn, distributed porn. He's been busted a few times. Now he's up on charges again. He got let out. There's another one that lives over there. What are you guys doing? And they're like, they don't even know, right?
Yeah, well,
right? They don't even freaking, right? They don't even, they don't even know it. Gotta have fun,
politicians ain't gonna come out, man. They're not gonna bring any politicians out. And no, municipalities throw that garbage. None. They got no power. They got nothing to do with anything.
But you and I all know this. We all know this. Yeah, so that's why I'm calling them out. What the fuck? What are you guys doing? This is your job, right? Right? Hey, if you were a politician, would you want to keep your ward safe?
I am a politician. That's the problem. Just not an elected one.
I know.
And the only thing is, none of these cowards will show up because they're cowards. And I'm going to be exposing. I've exposed some. But, like Doug Ford, a complete fucking liar.
He exposes himself.
He fucking lied. He told me to contact him, which I did, and he still didn't respond. So,
not shocked.
This is why they're not coming out. They won't because, well, Rob said it. They're hiding people, and there's reasons why they won't come out. And I know those.
All their names will be on it. That's why.
Yeah.
All their buddies, all them and their buddies' names, their uncles, their cousins, their freaking everybody, right?
Okay.
Everybody they know, all their friends will be on that list.
So, guys, Bam Bam and Rob, how do we expand Goofbusters to have local chapters? Have you guys put any thought into this? Or
wait, before we jump on that, there's absolutely no way you're going to get charged with mischief because there is no mischief to property. You're not going to get nailed with nuisance. Yeah, that's where you're wrong again. This is constitutional issues we have. We have a constitutional right to a peaceful assembly. That's what we're doing. We have a constitutional right to communicate with our neighbors, and that's what we're doing. We're going into communities, and we are making people aware, which is absolutely
legal,
protected content. So, no, there's no charges. No, have no fear. If you get charges, come see me.
I don't have any fear. I have no fear, brother.
I'll bring that shit up. I know you don't, Ray.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. One thing that I have been able to do with my voice and the shit I do on the internet and everything, if somebody gets charged for this, I promise you that we will fundraise so much money that we will hold these people accountable like you could never imagine and sue the living shit out of every single one of them and come for every single badge on their disgraceful uniform. And it would be an absolute pleasure to watch you arrest 2 child sexual assault survivors for standing up against sexual abusers. I would welcome them to come and arrest me because when you do that, we'll be taking a nice picture, a nice video with our handcuffs on. Me and Bam Bam will be looking at each other, thinking of the 2 little boys who had what they did happen to them. And you fucking punks would be sitting.
Just remember, I get top bunk.
Hey, I'm going to be there with you now.
Get top bunk.
Don't go to Chat GPT. All right, you know how many lawyers I've seen get a shit kicked off of them because
you guys are the fucking best.
AI is the
worst. Love you guys.
Don't touch that garbage. But you know the freaking thing here is. Bam Bam, I know you're not afraid. I was there with you and Rob, and and at the Catholic school board that day.
Yeah.
They're trying to arrest you, and then
Yeah.
I had that sergeant. I targeted the sergeant because they're supposed to have the knowledge.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't know nothing. And I told him, don't look, I got a legal background. Don't try to bullshit me. And then I had my conversation. I got it all recorded.
Oh yeah. That was a good day.
He's absolutely right. And he
That
does.
was the third time that cop did that to me. That's why I snapped. He
Yeah.
did it the first time, the vegan hippie chick.
Yeah.
He told us when I went there to protest the LGBTQ
Oh,
plus
that's when they
story time stuff, right? Me and Rob and Mr. Freedom and everybody.
Yeah, they almost arrested Glenn that day because who was it? George Augustus used Glenn's megaphone, and they went after that cop. Went to Glenn threatening he's going to arrest him. I was like, please arrest him because this is going to be like an epic lawsuit. But they did. It was so good. It's so good.
Nuts, man. It's nuts. Nuts. All because we just stand up, man. We're the big bad guys, right? We're such bad guys.
Yeah.
Like you said, Rob, we're survivors, man. We're survivors of the worst, and all we're doing. And you know what, Stefanos, you said it the best. We're not. We have that. It's our constitutional right. These are our rights, and this is what I tell everybody. You don't have to come to the street. Personally, I don't understand why there's not more people. I don't get it. Like I give people like Mr. Freedom, and he started. I actually told people last Saturday, what we're doing this Saturday because I had planned ahead. I've been working so much and having help. Other people have been helping me. I've been getting a few pedophiles in line ahead now. That's how many there are. I can get 4 or 5 ahead. I get 4 or 5. I can get 4. That's how many there are. It's pretty sad that I can get a book. Like seriously, guys. Pretty sad.
Hey.
I got books. Remember these books when we were kids? Remember these books? I got books like this. Seriously, you think it's funny? It's not funny. These are fucking filled with names, addresses, guys.
Tons,
guys.
Tons.
It's fucking nut, guys. It is scary how much information I have on pedophiles. That like it is insanity. Like that. This is just one list of where we went in the first 10 weeks. That's 10 weeks of addresses, pedophiles. 10 weeks. We're on 25. It's just nuts. People message it. It's insane the amount of pedophiles that are being exposed in the Niagara region. And there's no solutions, fellas. There's no solutions, but let's give them bail. Let's give these guys bail and let's protect them and let's not tell anybody. And hey, when Bam Bam and the backup crew shows up in the neighborhood, let's call Bam Bam and the backup and let's threaten them, right? Let's flatten Rob's tires. Let's send the bylaws after people. let's do this. It's just let's send the haters. Let's get all the fucking lefty freaking idiots, right? On the computer and the internet, living in the basement, and all the LGBTQ and the Antifas go after their pages and report. Like I said, 42,000 people just got taken off my page. For what? For what? Because I was exposing pedophiles. I was showing people how corrupt the justice system is. Hey, we're out saying, hey, Bill Steele, where are you? Why are you not out here? Where's all the politicians? Where's the freaking councilman? Where's this? Where's Fred Davies? What are you doing? Where's the solutions besides hanging purple flipping ribbons? What are you doing? And signing a piece of paper and taking your phone and hitting a freaking barcode to sign a fucking affidavit or whatever they're doing, the petition. It's not working. How many petitions, pieces of paper? We don't need to sign the paper. The government needs to sign the paper that quick. Bang, the laws are done, it's changed, and people are held accountable. But they're not doing it.
So there was a video, either I can't remember if it was Rob or yourself. You had a video and you were, I believe it was in Port Colborne, and you were showing the long line of cars. Like this is like really exploding. And we get people like that out there. This is, no matter how corrupt these government are, no matter how corrupt these cops are, they're not going to dare fucking do something that's going to step out of line when there's that many people there. So you always got the numbers. That's good.
Here's the thing. I've talked to the bylaw. I have spoken to the bylaw physically because we went into a neighborhood of a convicted school teacher who got charged for luring her students. She got 4 students. She ended up settling for 2. So the other 2's voices got silenced, or whatever the number was. It's somewhere in that area. But there was more than one. But she accepted 1 or 2 charges, and the other kids got silenced. We were in her neighborhood, and I was told that need a bylaw permit for a megaphone. Be careful. So I called the bylaw office. This is before I just heard from them last weekend, and I asked about the permit for the megaphone. They laughed at me. The lady laughed. I spoke to the head person. She's like, "Yeah, we have a law, but it hasn't been, it's switched or whatever it is since this year, and nobody's ever gotten one before." And I said, "Well, I'm Bam Bam." And she knew who I was, loved what I do, thanked me for what I do, and we kind of hung up the phone on a good note. Her telling me thank you and love what you do, Bam Bam. Right. So I heard last week that one of my backup crew was driving through port where we just were with this pedophile who's out on bail, doesn't deserve to be out on bail. And somebody's ripping the signs off, and now they got the bylaws now taking our signs down. And the bylaws said, no, wink, wink, tell Bam Bam that if we catch him or see him, we're gonna have to fine him. Don't let us catch him. Don't let us see him. And if you're there with all your people, don't do it if you see us. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, these bylaw officers, one guy's gonna get out of his car when there's 50 to 100 people and I'm gonna ask for his name and badge number. And then we'll be in his neighborhood in a couple of weeks saying you're a pedophile protector. And your neighbors know this guy protects pedophiles. This guy was taking the signs down where little kids live. There's a park that's 300 feet away from this pedophile. He was in that neighborhood taking the sign down. Sir, are you sure you want to take that sign off that pole? Are you sure you want to fine 50 people, whatever the fine is? And like Rob said, fine us for hanging signs, which they could. Right? I believe there's a bylaw for hanging signs on a pole, but there's also a discrimination law because you can go by any telephone pole and see garage sale, lost cat. I've been taking pictures of it. I'm going to put that out there now so everybody hears this. Every post I've driven by and seen lost cat, lost dog, lawn rolling for sale, or fucking bike, I've taken pictures, right? So in the bylaw, listen to me, bylaw, if you're watching this in the Niagara Regionals, when you do charge me, I've got 100 pictures to show you that you're discriminating against me for protecting children in neighborhoods within 300 feet, within breach of the pedophile that you give bail on to his surety's house. Because nobody goes and checks. This is what I said. I've asked the cops, who checks the surety's house when this guy gets out, how close he is? It says on his stipulations, he can't be within this many feet of kids. Why is he within 300 feet of fucking 150 kids? Right? Why is he within 200 feet of a library that he can walk in and use the computer on?
Maybe the sign you should be putting on the telephone pole says "Lost Pedophile."
Eddie, I like you. I knew he'd like you. So this is why we're gonna get along. I can put his picture on. Ed, we can even put his picture. We can do like a cartoon character.
What's
Lost pedophile with a car. Ed, you're a genius. So here's the funniest thing about that, Ed. Here's the best part about. I don't have a sign here. So there's a pedophile clown that played a clown and Santa. So I had somebody make a clown. Beware, there's a pedophile and it was a clown. I hung it up on the pole outside of his house, right? And so for you to say that, that's pretty good. I might have to use that one day. I'll film it for you. I'll make sure Steph gets it to you.
Did you get video or pictures of this bylaw pulling the stuff down?
No, we never did. It was one of my backup crew, and he was an older fella, and he didn't think about it, right? But he called me right away. He called me immediately, and we laughed about it, and I just said, I'm not worried about him.
If they do this, make sure that you get them on video, pictures, whoever it is. Let your guys know. Because
hey, somebody just text me. Can we make those pictures missing pedophile? So one of the backup crews watching this. Can people watch this live? Are people watching this live?
Oh yeah, it's live. That's why we're getting comments and everything, and it's more than just our Facebooks. It goes other places too.
My Facebook is freaking locked up right now.
I tagged the Goofbusters thing in it too, so I know there's a lot of people on here. So
hello everybody, Bam Bam's here. Tell everybody I say hello.
Trish Lost Sullivan. Convicted pedophile.
Alicia Coletti.
So hello, guys. What I'm trying to do is get the photos of them doing this. I'll take them to court for you. That's not a problem. I'll lay actual criminal charges privately on them. I've done 4 of them already. So
all right.
We'll hold these guys accountable. I got case law after case law. There's so much of that they cannot do this kind of stuff. So get photos.
Don't worry. If they show up on Saturday, I'm expecting it this Saturday. We're having, by the way, guys, this Saturday, like I say, every Saturdays we have the community safety awareness gatherings. There he is. There he is, brother.
Fucking clown.
Yeah, Santa. Don't scare the pedophile. Don't scare the pedophile.
When you hold that, it reminds me of a soother for some reason. I don't know.
So, like I said, on Saturdays we're gonna have a community safety awareness gathering on Glendale Avenue at the Penn Center in St. Catharines. There's a guy out on bail, 126 child porn charges, where images, grotesque, explicit images from ages 3 to 12 of possession, distribution. He's been charged out on bail, living at his mommy's house. So here's the thing that's happening right now, right? When these pedophiles, like when they're getting charged and they're in jail waiting bail, before they're out on bail, I'm already finding that's how many people don't like pedophiles and how big the movement's getting, because I'm getting reached. Hey, this guy just got arrested, he lives here. And I find out he's there, right? And it's just like, I'm in his neighborhood before he gets that guy from Niagara Lake who raped that child, that 14-year-old that lived in on Niagara Lake, lives in the Falls. We were in his neighborhood, Primo. All of us went for a little walk, and Morano, whatever his name is, we were in I was in his neighborhood before he got out. This other one that just got arrested, I was in the neighborhood before he got out. They're like, how do you find out where he is? Right? And it's just like, nobody likes a pedophile, right? Nobody who likes a pedophile, right? Even the cops don't like them, right? So it's amazing how easy it is to find them. And it's just, I hope they're starting to wake up to that, eh? Like, we're finding these pedophiles very fast. And we're putting them on notice, and we're letting them know. We're letting the communities know. We've had enough. Like, we're not doing it in any vigilante. Don't get me wrong.
No.
Like, I don't want it to take it the wrong way. We're not going to ever be violent, but we're definitely going to show up in their neighborhood, and we're definitely going to let people know. I don't care what they want to charge me. They better charge us all. But people in that neighborhood, by the time we leave, I told the guy, I was in the neighborhoods. I was in the pedophile's neighborhood before he got out. I literally put the flyer in his mailbox, right? I didn't know exactly. I was casing the place to find it, and as soon as the mailbox shut, door opens up, camera in my face, they start filming me, right? And it was the fucking surety and the pedophile behind him, right? And I just started laughing, right? And he goes, "You get the fuck out of here!" And I'm like, "Oh, you fucking." Whatever I said to him, a pedophile protector, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, "You can't come back here. Don't come on my property. We'll charge you with trespass." I said, "Okay, first of all, you don't know how trespass works, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "So don't worry, I won't be here on Saturday on your property, but there'll be 150 people in the streets. And by the end of Saturday, by noon, everybody in this area is going to know there's a pedophile living here. And you're going to have to live with that, you freaking pedophile protector."
That's
We laughed.
perfect.
And sure enough, we showed up, and we left, and there was a statement made. Every time we leave, everybody knows that's the best of it. Like, we get in our trucks, we go for a coffee after, or we talk, or we're driving home, and it's just like, as a survivor, to know that we made a good effect on a 5-6 blocks by a predator.
You're
The
making a
schools
difference.
know now, right? It's, you get in your truck and you're driving home, and it's just like, it's God's work, man. Like, you're saving people, right? We're helping people. It's not, like I say, it's not only just showing up and yelling and screaming and flyers, and it's the whole journey. It's the whole road. It's the whole healing. It's I don't know. I think it's pretty freaking beautiful, man. It's turned into something pretty, like I say, we know what happened to us is the worst of the worst, but look at where we are, and look at where we've traveled and what we've come and overcome. We're freaking survivors, man. And it's just, I just think it's time, like my sister said, to give people permission. I think it's time to give people permission to understand that it was never their fault, right? And be permission to step into your power. That's the permission I'm going to give. You already are a survivor. You already have the permission. You don't need, how did you say it? What did you say there? Yes. That's it. Just do it, man. It's just
right. You know what? I want to give a shout out actually here. Somebody who's always at your guys' Saturday gatherings there and making community awareness happen. I got a shout out to Steve Lee. Steve Lee is my brother from another brother, and he's a brother also in another way. He also went to that fucking school, so not the same time as me, but we are. Hey, everybody that went there all through the years, I don't care if the last year they were open or not, they're my brother, and I got their backs. And yeah, I just got to get.
You know what? I met him through the movement, the freedom movement, all that stuff. And that guy, he's only like 25 years old. I asked him last
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
Like
but
white
He's John,
supremacist?
24, 25 years old, but he shows up at every freaking protest for me or rally for me. Drives from like an hour away, right? And he takes great footage, and he's just. I know why he's there. I know, right? I know what he's doing it for, and I love
he's
the
a
kid.
great
He's
guy.
a great kid, man. I love even Primo. We did a little episode with him last week.
I was just going to say it, the white supremacist. That was so great. You guys had me in stitches. That's
Well,
the
you want to shout out to Steve. I want to shout out to all my backup crew, like the OGs and there's OGs like the originals that are still here with me, and to watch them, like I told you guys, I sit back. I have done it every week, and I've said it in my lives. When the crowd is walking through the neighborhood, I will pull myself aside and I will sit and I will film and I will watch. And I will watch the people's faces when they walk by me, right? And I remember I'm very good with faces, and I know the glow, and I know how it was the week one, and they lived in that fear. And then by week 10, they're out there and they're like they're monster slayers, right? They're not they've stepped into their power. Like I said last weekend, I shoved the megaphone in people's mouths and said, here, talk. You've been here. And Trish was one. Primo, your buddy, I handed him the megaphone. Other women,
Yeah.
it was just amazing. And to see people being able to do that, who were so afraid to leave a house or so afraid to go to a store or just so like this, to be and to know that there's other people there that love and care about them and don't look at them like they're dirty or they're in shame or blame or fear, like that shit. Like we said, I used to walk into the bar, the biggest, baddest motherfucker in that bar, and I would thought everybody in there knew what happened to me as a freaking little boy, right? And I lived with that, right? And then I'd have to have some drinks, right? And that was my escape. I'd have 7 Ryan Cokes, 7 doubles, and then it was like snap level, right? And then the cocaine would come out, and it was like, oh, I felt better, I could drink more. And then it was like, I chased and chased and chased and chased and ran. And then I was knocking people out, and I was a wild man, and just, it was nuts, right? But to watch people grow, I did it myself. So that's why I say it. I walk the walk, right? So I can talk the talk now. And I'm watching people walk the walk now. And now they're starting to get enough strength and power to talk the talk and to finally say, rah, and let it out. It's beautiful, man. That's what I say. That's why the ugly is so beautiful. And for my backup crew, like he mentioned, people that are on the backup crew, thank you. Just thank you for joining me and being part of this journey and stepping into being brave enough, being strong enough, having the courage, right? We know how hard it is, right? To stand out in the street and to walk down the street, to let others know that you would never have done this in your lifetime before. You've thought about it, you've dreamt about it, you've cried about it, you've screamed about it. To do it and to continually do it for Bam Bam, that's freaking incredible. That's the best part of this journey for me. That is the best, right?
Rob, can you check the private chat, please?
Oh,
It's beautiful.
yeah.
I couldn't see it if my life depended on it. So
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to say something too while I see Monique on there. Man, I love Monique. I miss her. I hope you're still seeing this now. We should I want her to come out to one of these events. I really want the girls, if you're still on here, like Trish and Alicia. I've been telling you for a while, oh, there's this girl who's an old friend of mine I want you guys to meet, and I want to get her out one day. That's who I was talking about, Monique McKay. So give her a follow and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, Ed remembers we had a lot of good times all together.
Okay, so we need the date and the time for the meeting this weekend.
It's this weekend is Saturday. What's the date on Saturday? What's the date? The 5th today? It's Thursday, 7th. Friday's the 6th. Saturday's the 7th. So it'll be this Saturday, February 7th, 9:30 a.m. Penn Center, St. Catharines, Glendale Avenue. We're going to meet in front of the Zayers parking lot for 9:30. Have a coffee, shoot the breeze. I'll hand out the flyers. We're getting our car. We're going to drive up about a street or two, park our vehicles. We could actually walk if we wanted to, see how many people there, see what the temperature's like, how cold it is. We could literally walk because it's literally right across the street almost, down in the little area down there in the neighborhood.
So
And
what town is this?
St. Catharines, Ontario, Penn Center at 9:30 a.m. in front of the Zayre's grocery store in the Penn Center strip mall. Penn Center, big mall there. It's on Glendale Avenue.
And how do people find you? There's a big parking lot, right?
I have a big white Tahoe. It's got a big Pam Bam net. It's got one of these. It's got stickers on the side of the truck.
Hang
Bam
on,
Bam Niagara Pedo Hunter. You can't miss my truck.
Bam Bam Niagara Pedo Hunter. It's on the side
Yeah.
of the truck.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Why don't you put your scanner thing right up to the camera, and then if the people wanted to scan it quick, they probably could, no?
There you go, people. That's on Facebook and Instagram, which is taken down. So everybody, so my Facebook and Instagram, if you scan this, it's not going to be active right now, Rob, that scanner, unfortunately.
Oh,
But I am on Twitter. I go by Razor4455, so it's RAYZOR 4455, and it'll come up Bam Bam Andrews. It's an old Twitter account. And I'm also on TikTok, and that's under Bam Bam Andrews. That's where I went to. I'm going to move everything to X since they took my page down on Facebook. X is a lot freer. I can share stuff. I've found out how to do lives on there. I can do just as much and more on X than I can do on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook all combined. And I'm not going to get shadow banned. They're not going to take me down. They're not going to block me. They're not going to. I can talk. And you can listen, we can share, we can join. I found out on X, we can join the lives, and we can make lives. I found that out today.
Stand
Bam, bam.
for
What's
the number 4 are children.
Yeah.
Says Bam Bam.
It's showing you the razor.
Pound.
Bam Bam Andrews, that's TikTok.
That's my TikTok, right?
Yeah, Bam Bam Andrews TikTok.
And it's Razor, RAYZOR 4455. Correct, Rob? Is that what it says?
Yeah, I'm gonna check right now. Ray, okay.
Okay, so if you can put the details in, we'll full screen.
What's that one, Rob? Yeah, there it is. Bam Bam Andrews, Razor 4455. That's me in this shirt, the same shirt. That's funny. That was at the protest in St. Catharines after that little angel from Welland. So there's my that's my X. Razor, RAYZOR 4455. And then it'll come up Bam Bam Andrews. And that's how you can locate me. Like I said, I'm driving everything to X now. I've been playing on it all day. I've been doing TikTok videos, been doing X videos, and like I said, I'm just as comfortable in any screen. I anything I share, it's from my heart. It's from my sleeve. It's from, like I've said this a lot. I've walked the walk. I can talk the talk. I can. Nobody loves Bam Bam. Listen, somebody said something the other day, and it's so right. Part of our healing journey is learning to love yourself again, to love that little boy inside you. For me, the little boy or the little girl inside you, whichever you are. And that's the biggest part of the healing journey, is to let that little boy or the little girl in you know that he's safe or she's safe. And that's the biggest part of the healing journey that we are all taking together. And I'm watching these people, like I said, stand in their power and step up and grow, and they're healing and they're getting healthier mentally, physically, stronger, every way, shape, or form, spiritually. And I just want everybody who's watching, that's listening, I want you to know how special that is. And you guys don't even understand that part of this journey yet. But there's going to come a day where you're going to look back and you're going to say, holy shit, Bam Bam was right. Because I look back now on my journey, like I fell so many times and had slip ups and tried, but I kept trying. I always tried. And somebody said the other day, nobody loves Bam Bam like Bam Bam loves Bam Bam. And I looked and I'm like, I do love myself. I do love Ray. You're right. I never used to. I love myself the most, but you know why? Because I hated myself for so long. I hated that little boy. I wasn't so like I wore it for so long, and it's the biggest, hardest thing to let go and to just the very first time to come out and say, my dad touched me. My dad did this to me for this. And then, you know, as the story grows, or you or anybody, right? Like your uncle, whoever it may be, right? Your babysitter, to build up the courage to talk and to come out and to do it. That's not easy, eh? It's the biggest step, the biggest journey. It's the biggest, but you're doing it. And I just want everybody to know, I know how hard it is, but it gets better, and that there's hope and there's light, and just keep showing up. I preach showing up. I practice grounding. I go outside in this weather, -20. I'm outside barefoot in the snow and the snowbanks. I hug trees. I do breath work outside. I do summertime. It's part of my healing journey. It's things that I've learned that are coping skills that I've learned through therapy, and I've shared them with people, and I've watched people out there in the snow doing it, grounding, women, men, kids out grounding, doing, you know, doing the work, doing the steps. And I say, it's like, you know, you go to the gym, you want to build a bigger arm. Like I go out in the morning and I say, you know, Bam Bam's up. I'm not sure if you're up. Sun's up, guns are up, love up. And I'm out there and I'm giving thanks. I'm giving, and I'm sharing that experience with people of what I do. And I do that because so many years of my growing up and suffering and living as the victim and not wanting to get out of bed and getting out of bed and hating my life and hating myself and just hating the world, hating everything, you know, having to live my head, having to live in my space in that head with that PTSD and in here, and that little boy rumbling all the time and scared. And, you know, I peed the bed till I was 14, right? So my monster was my dad, right? And I did everything that was all trauma based, and I never got an escape because I lived with my monster, and it was more than once a day, right? For 10 years of my life, I was as, you know, and my sisters, and it was like you watched and you participate, and it was the worst of the worst of the worst, right? Threaten you with your animal. I'm going to kill your dog. I'm going to do it. And I know the journey we've all struggled. We all have our different journeys. We all have our different healing. But the matter of the fact that you are willing to do it, you need to recognize the strength that you have, that you're willing to face those demons and step into your power and just keep stepping. Even if you fall down, get up and keep stepping. And don't be afraid to ask for the help as you step. And like the backup crew and everybody here watching, I'm doing this because I'm, like my sister said, permission. It's not about permission. I'm doing this because I've given myself permission. I've given myself, I've given that little boy's given me permission to do this. That little boy now tells me he loves me, he's proud of me, and I don't have to do that to him anymore. I don't have to as much as protect him and guard him anymore. And that's the best part about this. And I'm watching you guys do it. It's beautiful. And one day you're going to look back and you're going to say, holy shit, right? Holy shit, he was right. Because you don't see it yet. You don't see it yet. And that's another big thing. When you're in your healing journey and you start doing the steps and you're doing the tools, and then like one day, you know what I'm talking about, PTSD, and you get mad, right? And then one day, like you don't, you're feeling it come on, and you're recognizing that mind and body connection from the tools that you're working, and you're able to stop and slow yourself down, and you don't have that outburst that you had before from your mental health issues from your childhood, and you recognize that, and it's like, hey, I did it, right? You got to, and that's when you start to notice the healing, right? That's when the journey starts to become better, right?
Yeah, so I think we're coming up on time here. Um, Ray, just a quick 2-second thing with what you said about threatening they're gonna kill your animals and stuff. Like where I was, we had to literally dig our own graves, lay in it. They start throwing dirt on it, telling you this is your grave, you're gonna die now. So can you imagine that? And
No,
then
as a boy, little boy.
I just want to say, that thank you for what you're doing. I see those little kids that have been survivors of their attackers, their monsters, and I see their faces light up and the courage they get. I see the effect even in their parents when they're there, and I commend you for that. Thanks, brother. Thanks
Thank
for
you, brother.
and everyone.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Ed.
quickly, one more time. Where do people meet you? St. Catherine's, 9:30.
So this Saturday, St. Catherine's, 9:30 a.m., Penn Center Mall. It's on Glendale Avenue. There's a big Zayre's grocery store parking lot right in front. You can't miss it. You'll see my white Tahoe sitting out front. I've got big, huge stickers. Bam Bam the Niagara Peter Hunnell. You'll see a bunch of cars there. By 9:30, by 9 o'clock, there's usually 20 cars there, and by 9:30, It's full. You can't miss us, but you'll see us. We're in the Penn Center. I'll be out there. You can't miss me. I'm a big dude. I'll be out there. I'll have a big flag out there. Bam Bam and his backup putting pedophiles on notice. And Primo got it for me. And yeah, so 9:30 Saturday morning, Penn Center parking lot, Zayers. We're gonna meet up there. It's on Glendale Avenue. Everybody knows where the Penn Center. You can Google Penn Center, St. Catharines. You'll find it really easy. Anybody locally knows where the Penn Center is around here. So 9:30 a.m. Saturday morning, Penn Center parking lot. We're gonna meet up in Zayers, and we'll leave from there. Doing a drive literally a block away, and get out of our vehicles, do our walking, canvassing of the neighborhoods nearby. I drove by the other day. There was a bus stop right there. There was like 15 little kids out there. I stopped, got out, spoke to all the parents, and
Ed, Penn Center's the 406 Glendale cutoff. That's it.
yeah,
See you.
there you go, brother.
Coming on.
Night,
See you
everybody.
next
Love up,
Thursday,
everybody.
same time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Love.